Howdy y'all, and welcome back to Educating the Modder. And today we're going to talk about how to adjust the carburetor on your old Briggs Stratton engine.
There got to be a better way than this. Very nice.
So, anyways, whenever I was rebuilding the engine to the Warlock, and if you want to check that out, it's okay, click here. But anyways, I had to rebuild the carburetor. Now, I'm used to carburetors. I've worked on them a lot with motorcycles, but these are quite a bit different. I mean, they work on the same principles, but anyways, the point is I was watching Zippo's videos. If you are watching my tractor videos, you probably know about Zippo Varga. And love his videos, does great, and he's a real pro on these old Briggs Stratton and the Allis-Chalmers, and I'm sure other things as well. But he did a two-part carburetor rebuild video, and it was great. I used them to help me rebuild my carburetor. But I found there was a piece of information that he forgot to put in there, and that's why I'm doing this video. I got the info from a friend of mine, Rowan, thank you, and Dayton King, there you go. But it's pretty simple once you know the basics, and I think Zippo just was thinking a little bit above the beginner's head. And so here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Here's an old carb, and you've got really just two screws that you really have to mess with at all with this, and that's going to be your idle needle, right, or idle valve, whatever you want to call it, and this is your main needle valve. This controls the flow in and out of your main jet or your fast jet, and this controls the flow for your idle jet or your slow jet. So what you do is, like Zippo said, you start off, you turn them all the way in, and you don't want to crank on it because that's going to cause burrs and little scorings on your needle valve. You turn it all the way in. Once it seats, you're gentle. Do this by hand. Try not to use a screwdriver for this unless you just don't have any strength there. Maybe there's some kids out there, but then you back it out 1.5 turns, and I'm just guessing, I'm doing a video, so there you go. Let's say that's 1.5 turns. Same thing with this down here. Now Zippo says it's really important on this one, you don't want to crank it at all. Once you feel it seat, stop and back it out 1.5 turns. So anyways, that's your setup to start off with. That's your general setup, and your motor should run with this. The other thing to look at, oh, I should be holding it like this, so I'm going to. The other thing I should look at or show you is this right here. This is the valve that controls your butterfly valve. Turn this light down here. How's that? You see that a little bit better now? So for this right here, you want it to almost completely close this butterfly valve. So back it all the way out. Alright, back it out until you get it to where it completely closes, and then turn it in just a little bit so that you got just a slight opening. Alright, because if you don't, then you won't have any gas flow there at all. No airflow, no gas flow or anything. So whenever you're first setting these up, you'll want this to be ran just a little bit higher than a normal idle. So don't be afraid to open it up just a touch more, you know, little, like 1/8 of a turn more than what you think might be necessary. And then you set your idle the way you want it with your fuel, you know, your your throttle. Turn it all the way down, right? Turn it all the way to low, and you set your idle. Don't even touch this. And this was the only thing that I thought was missing from Zippo's video, because I was adjusting both of them at the same time. All right, and that's my fault, I know, but I'm not going to assume that you guys out there know this, so that's why I'm telling you, don't even touch this. And this is what Dayton King you know, he helped me out, and he said, no, you don't adjust them both at the same time. You do your idle first, and that's it. Set your idle. Once your idle is there, then you take your throttle and you throttle it up to maybe about quarter of a throttle, as much as you can, kind of, you know, without it dying out. And then you adjust this. Don't even touch whenever you're adjusting your high-speed jet or your high-speed needle, whatever you want to call it. Don't touch your idle. So, and that was the big deal for me. Separate the two in your mind. Do your idle first, and then do your main jet needle valve. Now I have a truly cold engine here. I haven't started it yet, and so, you know, I didn't want to go ahead and start it even though it was adjusted properly before this video. I didn't want to start it because I felt like that would give me an unfair advantage if I had a warm engine to work on. You guys won't have that probably. So I shouldn't have it either. Opening this throttle, the butterfly valve, I'm opening it up more so that whenever it dies down, it can't go too low. Alright? So now I'm going to start working on my idle. I'm turning it in. Okay, I've got the throttle turned all the way down now, and as you can see, I'm keeping a nice steady idle. It didn't touch my main jet at all yet. Now is when I start working on my main jet. And what I do is by hand, I rev it like this while I'm adjusting. Trying to minimize the smoke coming out. You should be able to quickly open that throttle. See how it stumbled there? Back it out a little bit. Oh, I gotta go in.
to go out, let more fuel in. Back in. Find the balance. About as good as she's gonna get right there, I believe. Back. Alright. That's what you want. So now all the way down, we'll keep a nice steady idle. But it'll also have decent throttle response whenever I hit it all the way up. I know there's a lot of smoke coming out there, but once it actually gets up to RPMs, the smoke goes away.
Okay, so that's the video on how to set up your carb on your old Briggs Stratton engine. And until next time, you're welcome.